Hello, I'm Greg Jamian and thank you for watching Boomer Health at Home, the show where we explore the most relevant healthcare topics impacting the baby boomer generation today. As more and more baby boomers seek answers to many times difficult healthcare questions, our goal is to provide ideas, tips, and cutting-edge solutions that will help improve your everyday life and health. It is our hope that you find the following information helpful as you sit back and watch Boomer Health at Home.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Boomer Health at Home, the show where we provide useful information to help you live a happy and healthy life. Joining me is my co-host, Brett Pulte.
Hey Ryan, it's great to be here.
Brett, it's great to be here. Brett, what are we discussing today?
Well, today we are actually going to bring in an injury specialist named Stacey Jewett. She works for OakMed Beaumont Venture together. And what she's going to be talking about is basically explaining our auto no-fault laws. You know, it's a big topic right now. It's something that's going through reform in our House or in our Michigan state government right now.
Great. What kind of topics is she going to cover?
Well, she's going to pretty much explain to us, you know, the different benefits to no-fault laws. I mean, insurance is a huge world. It's hard to cover, you know, just one topic. But she's a very smart person. She knows these laws, and you know, she's made a great living being able to help people guide them through each individual piece of it. She's also going to show us the differences between the auto no-fault coverage and the Medicare coverage that many of our viewers have. And then she's going to basically show us, you know, the different changes and stuff that could come about with these reform laws that they're trying to pass through.
Sounds great. Sounds like we got a great show planned today. So don't go away. When we come back, we'll cover this and more. Welcome back. Today we're discussing no-fault auto and Michigan's law and how that will impact your health care and also your future coverage. Joining me, of course, is my co-host Brett Pulte, and we also have injury specialist for Beaumont Hospital, Stacey Jewett, on today. Guys, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Stacey, first off, could you tell us a little bit about your role in Beaumont Hospital and how you work within the auto no-fault space?
Sure, absolutely. I am an injury specialist patient liaison for within Beaumont.
Okay.
And what we do is we speak with all of the patients who have come in who have been involved in a motor vehicle accident, really talk with them about what their benefit levels are under their car insurance. Most people have no idea really what is available. And then we help either identify the correct payer for them and then work with the hospital to ensure that all of those benefits that are available are placed in their care plan, not only while they're at the hospital, but also as they return to the community, to their home setting.
Great. So, and Brett and I were talking before he came out. I was like, so we know everyone's talking about we need to change, we need to reform no-fault. Brett and I were talking, it's like, what is already in place? Like, what's the full scope of practice? I mean, I know I don't understand it completely. Brett doesn't understand. You don't understand anything completely, but just kidding. But
Outside of hockey.
So please educate us. We don't know what's going on.
Allow me to educate you. So Michigan's auto no-fault is the best program in place for everyone. And the reason I say everyone is because in Michigan, everybody can be affected by it. It's not only just our drivers. So to start, what auto no-fault is, to give you a quick definition, it means basically that if you're in an accident, it doesn't matter who is at fault, you are still going to receive medical coverage. So as long as you're a driver and you have an active policy even if you, with your insurance company, even if you caused the accident, you still will have benefits. Those benefits extend not only to you, but to the passenger who may be in the car, the other vehicles involved, and also pedestrians.
Wow.
That's actually awesome because, like you said, not many states have this. I mean, there's only about 3 at this point.
I know for sure that we do, and I believe Florida does. I don't know about the other states. The difference between us and Florida, who are also a no-fault state, is Florida has a cap, whereas in Michigan we don't. And what I mean by a cap is that if you sustain injuries in the accident, your insurance will cover the lifetime need. So for any rehab and recovery that you need due to that accident, you will receive lifetime coverage and care.
Wow. And some of the care you're talking about could be, round the clock, 24/7. This will cover that sort of, like everything you need. That's
Ryan, it's amazing. There's 3 major components within. It's called PIP. You'll hear that a lot, and it's personal injury protection, and it's a line item in our insurance, in our car insurance. So when you go and you purchase your auto coverage, you have collision, liability, and there's one line item that is for your personal injury protection PIP.
wow.
Many people aren't familiar with that, so I'll expand upon it. Those benefits, there's 3 main benefits in that. The first one is all of your medical care, which is completely different than what our health insurances cover, such as Medicare, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Aetna, just to name a few, HAP. Those insurances, although great, are still limited.
Okay.
Under your PIP benefit, it's unlimited as long as it's reasonable and necessary in the rehab and recovery from the injuries sustained to the auto accident. So that could be attendant care, as you were saying, Ryan. Attendant care is typically 99% not covered by any of our health insurances.
Wow.
And never covered by Medicare. So if one of our seniors is in an accident and they need round-the-clock care, the only place that they would get it is a nursing home without this benefit, or family would have to provide the care in the home setting. Attendant care is just simply not a benefit that's offered.
Right.
So with our auto, you get attendant care. Home modifications. Many of our accidents require that some home modifications are completed in the home prior to discharge. So again, that one benefit is anything medical. The second benefit is home replacement services. So the things that you and I are responsible to do in our home, cutting the grass, taking out the garbage, things that we can't do anymore, but that are necessary to continue living. It's a small benefit, but it's still there, is replacement services, which again is not something that would be covered under our health insurance.
So with the replacement benefits that people have out there now, I mean, that's a huge thing, because if you think about it, everyone, you go out and get injured, you can't cut your grass, you can't maintain things, and then after a while your house starts breaking down. Then you have more expenses added on. So I think that's probably my favorite part. Being a person who just bought a home and is fixing it up, I think that's my favorite part of this.
It's something that is used frequently, because if you have an injury where you are non-weight bearing or you're hobbling around trying to get around with a walker, absolutely. It's $20 a day for up to 3 years, for as long as you need it. And so $140 a week, even every little bit helps.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's definitely a great benefit. And then the third benefit, the third main component with this is wage loss. So if you're currently working, and there's even some instances where if you were looking for work, you can receive up to 85%, or it is 85% of your wage loss.
Wow.
So a lot of working families who only have one person bringing in an income, it's a major benefit.
Yeah, it does sound great. And I guess it's one of those things where, you know, us, if you haven't been in a car accident or been fortunate enough, you don't realize all that could go in and how bad. You think you're safe in your car. You got your music playing and all this. You don't realize any second some guy might be texting or something and hit you. And then you need lifetime coverage. So I guess the question I have is, what's wrong with this? What are these proposed changes as we keep hearing about in the news, and what's going on with that?
You know, there are a ton of proposed changes, and Ryan, this has been brought to the people 2 times. So meaning that on 2 different occasions, this topic to change what is already in place has been brought for a vote, and 2 times now we have said as a population in Michigan, no, do not change our system. It's great, it's working. We do not want to shift the cost anywhere else. There's no need for it, and yet it's still a consideration on the table. Many different factors why. So right now, Michigan pays the highest insurance rates in Michigan.
Okay.
Right? That's what you hear all the time. And then when you have a conversation about, but you get lifetime care. For those, as you just said, who aren't familiar with the need or why or the intricacies, it's very easy to draw the conclusion that, well, I'm paying so much because I'm getting this benefit. So I don't think I'll ever need that benefit. Why not lower it for me? It's an easy conclusion to draw.
Right.
But when you start breaking it out, what it really means is it's a small amount, especially for our baby boomer generation. We are looking at the cost for PIP, or the personal injury protection that covers all of the medical. It's about $170 a year.
That $170 gives you all the coverage. Jeez.
$170.
I just got my cable television. That was more than $170. I won't name any companies, but yeah, and that was for a month.
It seems like a no-brainer to keep it. You know, for $170 per year, I mean that's wonderful. You know, if I get in an accident, all of a sudden I can't work, I can't move anymore. It's good to know that my family would be taken care of. So.
And that's exactly it. So when you're talking to an insurance representative or an insurance advocate on why the change needs to happen, they obviously have their perspective, but when you start breaking it down to what the impact really means. So if we weren't paying that $170 a year, we would be looking at a capped amount. So I know that in a hospital, the billing could go anywhere. I have personally seen it up to $300,000, $400,000.
Wow.
Now those are catastrophic, but there's a lot of catastrophic out there. Even if you hit $20,000, because you're going to stay in the hospital, and then you're going to do some rehab before you go home, and chances are you're still going to need a little bit of help from attendant care when you go home. Certainly our baby boomers use that benefit to help them rehab and recover in their home.
Right.
So right now, what's being talked about is a cost shift. We will have auto insurance, but there will be a cap on it. And once that cap is reached, then the payer who would be responsible would go to Medicare. Let's talk about the benefits under Medicare. We talked about it, touched upon it briefly in the beginning, but Medicare is basic. Does not cover attendant care, doesn't cover home modifications. It's very limited on the therapies in the home that are provided. So if you are in an accident and you need therapy, physical therapy, occupational therapy in the home setting, you're going to get a very limited amount.
Wow.
You're not going to recover and rehab as quickly as you would being able to utilize a full benefit that you're already paying for in your insurance.
Yeah, geez, that's a.
And, I mean, it seems to me that Medicare wouldn't also cover, you know, the little replacement services either.
Great point. Replacement services are out. Transportation. Medical transportation is a benefit with your auto NoFault. So going to the doctors. Once you turn over into a Medicare situation, now you're leaning on your family. You both work, I work, we have families. It's not that I wouldn't want to be with my mom or dad as much as I can. I can't. Having the auto NoFault insurance allows me to ensure that they are receiving the proper care in the home setting, the same type of care that I would give them in the home if I was able to.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think a lot of people just don't know what's there. They're kind of confused on what it is. That really definitely sums it up. And I think people forget too that there's outside factors with auto stuff that impact our rates. I mean, car theft, and when we live near a big city, that impacts our rates just as much as anything. I mean, you have the amount of accidents in general you have, stuff of that nature. Those are always going to affect the rates, and I think people see some of those changes and assume the cost comes from NoFault right now in the PIP, and not realizing, no, that's I mean, it's a gift almost to have that available if you need it. And
it's the way that the formula is designed to determine our premiums is weighted, as you're saying, on those factors. It's not just the medical, but it's geographics, so where you live. So if you live in a high crime area, it's also about credit. So all of these different factors, previous accidents, previous claims, that all gets put into a bucket, and then that's where you start seeing the premium spikes at. And it's across the board, so it's everybody feels that.
Now I know people, you mentioned that the rate reduction is what people want. With the proposed changes, like what are they promising people to actually, like, is there a significant reduction, or is there?
That is a great question. And so allow me to take a couple minutes with that.
Of course.
The rate reduction that is being proposed the insurance company is saying, well, let's give and take. We're saying that we have to, the insurance company is saying that they have to increase the rates because the medical is too high. So if they go ahead, if we agree to putting a cap on what the insurance company would be responsible for paying, then they'll go ahead and give us all a rate reduction. The rate reduction that is being proposed is 40% on the one line item under your personal injury protection in your policy. Right?
Yeah.
Many people, when you hear a blurb and you hear a quick conversation, you grasp at the 40% and you think, I would love to have 40% reduction on my premium. You're only getting 40% on that line item.
On the line item.
And
wow.
Here's the crazy part. It's only for a year, the first year. There aren't any guarantees after the first year that it will not go up. There aren't any guarantees, in fact, that you would even get that 40%, because our insurance companies are also asking for to be able to go to the Department of Insurance and Financial Services and prove hardship that they can't afford that 40% offering and possibly get that waived to where you may not even be entitled to it.
Wow. Yeah, so it's savings. And then what you're sacrificing, even to get a 40% savings on one line item, lifetime.
I mean, 40% of 170 is roughly $60 per year, and as you said, it might only be for the first year.
For the first year, exactly.
The first year.
Exactly. Wow. So when you start to dissect all of this and really do a deep dive, start peeling back the onion, the question really is why? Why is this happening? Nobody has been able to answer that yet. We would like to know from a population standpoint, what is the adverse effect that the insurance company is really feeling that they have to raise these rates? Meaning, did they not meet their profit margins? What are their profit margins that they're trying to meet? So these hard questions need to be asked back to the insurance company if they are asking us to make such a major change that is going to have the potential to have a terrible impact on the entire population of drivers and anybody who is in a car, hit by a car, but especially our baby boomers.
Wow.
Now, with all this information, it's great. So with everyone now having this newfound information and stuff that they can form their opinions with, how can they get their voice out there? How can they say what they want done with their benefit?
We need to contact Lansing. We have to reach out to our representatives. Right now, it is there's bills being written, talked about, negotiated, trying to get out of committee to go to the floor for a vote. Currently, there are not enough votes to even get it out of committee, which, on a personal note, I am thankful for.
Right.
I believe, being in this industry for 20 years, I have been on I've seen on every side, the provider side, the insurance side, a consumer as a driver side. And for the amount of money that we pay for this protection, I would not change a thing.
Wow. That's very interesting. That's a lot of information, and thank you for coming on. And I think it's very beneficial to hear, people saying, well, seniors, they can go on the Medicare. If it's not going to give them the same thing, then it just seems like something we do need to keep an eye on. So it's very important. This information is very helpful. So thank you for coming on. We're actually out of time today. I wish we could talk more. Yeah. Brett, thanks for being here as well. So then if you have any questions at home about any of the content you saw today, feel free to contact us at area code 248-288-2270, or of course you can email at us at boomerhealth@americaremedical.com. Thank you again, guests, for joining us. Thank you for watching at home. Stay healthy out there. Thanks for watching.